Hi. Hello. How are you guys doing?
I'm used to a fucking like Lord of the Rings story script to go
I
by the
know.
screen before I do
Yeah.
anything.
I know. Let me double check that these guys can hear you because my volume is like ultra low. Hello.
Hi.
I don't. Hold on. I think. No, it is maxed out. Why? Why? Can you guys talk for a few
Why?
minutes?
Hi.
Why?
Okay.
What?
Why?
It looks
Huh?
like it's.
Why?
Okay. Okay. I get it. I got it.
I baked cookies.
Yeah. Loken maked cookies. Maked is a word now. Made cookies. It's fantastic. So say we all. Gosh darn it. Adam still doesn't have internet. So we're doing this instead. And I feel really short right now. So I'm going to do this and lift my chair up. Ta-da! There we go. So yeah, Adam is not available because internet. And then Devin is also dealing with family peoples that are over her place this weekend. So we decided to do a Consulting Cthulhu episode, which I haven't done in a pretty long time now. So what we want to do probably is we're going to talk about the game so far, like the season, not just season 2, but we can even talk about season 1 stuff that you guys maybe still have questions about, anything unresolved. And we can just talk about horror and tabletop, whatever we feel like, really, and just go on from there. So I'm gonna turn.
This is like an extended version of conversations in the car, but about real life things.
Yes.
See, you should have put us in a car.
Shit.
Well,
that's
we
a
gotta redo
missed
the overlay.
opportunity.
Stream's canceled.
Opportunity.
Everyone, wait right here. We'll be
Oh,
back
yeah,
in
exactly.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Rocket? No.
Did you leave the door open?
Well, yeah, I've been leaving the door open. He's been getting better, but sometimes it's like he knows when I'm streaming. He's like, "Oh, you're doing something important? Why don't I come over here and ruined everything?"
Oh,
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Oh.
Hi, everyone. My name's McLoken. You guys might recognize me from this show that's usually on at this time on this channel.
Rocket!
Sorry, my cat just took a poo and it smelled real bad.
Ew. Ew.
It's like I have like my door to the bathroom is over here. Like I have one of those bathrooms with 2 doors so that like the outside can use it, and then I have the door to my room. And the kitty litter is like right inside that door in like a cabinet. I took the cabinet off and so he can like just go in there and go. And when that door is open after he's gone to the bathroom, it's smelly.
Rocket has the
Yeah,
worst
Rocket's got
smelling
the
poops.
stinky poops.
Whew.
He
Yeah.
does.
We know that feeling. I know that feeling, especially because the cat box is like right by the door to my studio.
I don't have the cat box by my office, but I have the AC unit next to my office. So it's kind of like a weird trade-off
loud.
of like noise. Yeah.
It's loud. Yeah, so, okay, what do we want to talk about? Let me do some quick stuff first. Let's talk about who our individuals are here, and we'll talk about some stuff around the promo stuff about the channel, the nonsense around that. Let's start with the cool stuff with our players. We'll start with McLoken. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your channel, who you are, what you do. Rocket, knock it off.
Hi, my name's McLoken.
I can't hear you
so much. I'm talking right now. Hold on. I really thank you guys so much for tuning in today. This became an ASMR podcast. I hope you really appreciate it. I don't know if Meta can still hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? It's really.
I can hear you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Well, you can't talk right now because you'll talk over me. So, hi everyone. I'm McLoken. You can catch me at twitch.tv/McLoken, and I do D&D and stuff. And yeah. Hi, I love you.
That's all I had.
Great, thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That's all for now. Right then. That's great.
Yes. That's all I
turn.
wanted this morning with some ASMR.
Yes.
From McLoken.
Why not?
From the ginger beard. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's all I wanted.
Ginger beard ASMR.
Ginger beard ASMR.
That was too quiet for
Ginger
ASMR
beard.
beard. Yeah, ASMR ginger beard's more like, hey, how's it going?
Wait, all of us are gingers.
Oh.
There's 3 gingers on your screen. Be happy.
3 gingers, 1 Cthulhu.
That's
The ginger cult.
ginger gold. Maybe ginger beard.
I think it's a valid cult name.
Is it the ginger
I have that
beards?
picture still, Avi, from TwitchCon. That was good. There we go. I can't
I
really...
need to I need to get like a way to do that. I had a friend that can do it. She did it for her as a joke for a
I did it.
Hobbit dwarf costume for
Mhm.
like a convention, and then like the next year she went and she actually made like the whole outfit with like the prosthetic beard and nose and all that kind of stuff. But it was
wow.
really funny to see because you can actually there's ways that you can like braid your hair to like do this,
Yeah.
and then like braid your hair to like go down and have like braids in it and everything. It's so crazy. Like who sits around and goes, hey, today I'm gonna braid my hair so it
I
looks
do.
like a dwarven beard.
I do all the time. That's what
Well,
I do every
that's-
morning.
That you have a beard though. Like that's way
Is it a
easier than
real
somebody
beard?
with a long.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or is it my hair?
Oh. Oh. Wow. Good job. That's
Everybody looks
That's some
particularly ginger right
talent.
now, and I don't know if it's just because all of us are gingers and on screen together.
It's my lighting. I don't know. Maybe our ginger gets enhanced when only gingers are.
well
Okay,
down
on the
here.
screen.
This is the hair from summer, and
Yeah.
I'm a sun-kissed ginger.
Same.
So this is from last summer. And then as summer comes again, it'll start to get more ginger on top, and they'll have like a streak of like non-ginger dead.
So wait. So like it's like sun-kissed ginger, like a subclass of ginger.
It's I have reddish hair, but when it gets hit by the sun, it makes it more obvious. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It's like me, Loke, because my hair
Obvious.
comes in
Yeah.
dark, but if I step out into the sun, like that's much lighter than up here, as you can tell,
Yeah.
right? Here's the
I
difference.
get, see if I'm in the sun a lot, I get blonde streaks in my hair.
You're like I can't get into Gingerfest in Europe, but you can get into Gingerfest in Europe, McLoken.
I
Joe.
can. Why?
Yeah. Because you are like very obviously ginger all the time. Like yours, like it's in your beard, it's from your roots up. You don't need to be sun kissed. It's ginger.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, am known as what's known as an auburn, so I can't get into Gingerfest.
The true ginger.
I think my hair's too brown to get into ginger fest. Like I don't have like straight up like red hair, and it looks like
It looks pretty red to us. Just saying.
I don't. It must be my
Well,
lighting.
I know it's yours
or-
isn't carrot. Yours isn't like a carrot, which is
No.
normal Gingerfest. But you
Mhm.
like you could still probably get into Gingerfest.
I'm more of a strawberry blonde. If we're gonna talk about my hair.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You
I'm
are
more
not. No, you're
strawberry
not.
blonde.
Strawberry blonde?
Yeah.
What?
That's so funny.
You're no.
Okay, let's look up strawberry blonde pictures.
Not at all. A strawberry blonde is like that chick from that show that I can't watch anymore because it's too boring. And her face bothers
Adele.
me.
Oh wait, maybe I'm not a strawberry blonde.
No.
What show are you talking
Dude,
about?
Rocket's sitting in the other chair. He's all like, I'm here. I'm also streaming.
Just accept it. God damn it, Allie. I am accepting it. I accepted it with my red beard. I don't know what to classify my red hair as.
You're just red hair. It's just fine. You just leave it. Why do you have to make a big deal of it?
I'm gonna shave my head.
What?
Nothing. I'm
You're
gonna
not.
shave my beard.
You're not gonna do that. You're just not allowed.
If you guys want to know the ongoing joke and why Sarge has never shaved his beard, is because Meta won't let me shave.
Yeah, I had to write it into the story. Why you have a beard.
Yeah, but I also joked around for when the show started. that like, hey, since sergeant is a sergeant, he would always like try to stay clean shaven. And she's like, don't fucking do it. Don't
There
do
we
it. And I was like, okay, I won't do it. She's like, I'll fucking kill you. And I was like, oh.
I didn't say that.
No, but you said you'd be less attracted to me, and
Yeah.
I was very hurt by it.
Well, it's true.
Beards are nice.
She only loves me for my beard.
Rocket is very curious right
This
now.
is your beard.
Yeah.
It's purple. A bald cap and strap it around his chin. No, that would be so
I
weird.
don't know if that's
Because
how that
You
works.
couldn't like plush it to your skin. It would look very odd.
It would be creepy as all hell is what it would be. That's what I'm thinking. We would have to create these prosthetic jaws and create a... Yeah. Okay, anyway, I can't
Bobby,
get...
introduce yourself because you haven't said.
Yes,
done
do
yet.
that.
No, I was having too much fun talking about gingers. Hi, I'm LadyAvianna. I play Evelyn. I used to stream.
I used to stream and then I took an arrow to the knee.
When I took an arrow to the knee. Yeah, I used to stream a lot, but I haven't streamed since like October. I was taking some personal time, and then personal time turned into a lot more personal time. And now I'm at that point where it's like, I want to start streaming, but I feel like I should have like a comeback, and I should have like cool new art and all this kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's just like, hi, I'm Bobby. I don't know. I've been considering it and figuring out like what I'm gonna do whenever I come back. But I am wanting to come back. But I normally do a lot of roleplay stuff here. Since I haven't been streaming, you could catch me in like pretty much any ARC roleplay stream. I'll be in the background of, because like lately that's all I've been doing is ARC roleplaying in my free time. And then I do a lot
dedication.
of costume stuff. I do costuming stuff. Like right now I have 4 wigs around my feet that I'm sewing together to make one large anime wig. So that's probably what I'll be doing when I come back, actually. I was thinking just sit around and drink wine and stream making costumes again for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a fun thing for me. But yeah, those are my loves, cosplay and roleplay. So I like to play. And if you'd like to see my wonderful comeback that may happen, you can follow me at twitch.tv/LadyAvianna, and it's pretty much the same for Instagram,
I just realized.
Twitter, Facebook. All those good things. All
I don't-
those good things.
I don't have a mod here because yeah, that's basically my streaming life now. No mod. Anyway, so what else do we want to? Okay, I guess I'll go over quick channel announcement things because stuff and all the things. So the quickest thing to go through first is that Mondays are my other Cthulhu game. Not on my channel, but on Encounter Roleplay. I joined the show, the cast there. So at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, I play a ghoul, which is really awesome. Pushes my roleplay limits because I also have to do a French accent because it's during the French Revolution.
Oui, oui.
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 It's actually really hard for me to do a French accent because I constantly drop back into a British accent because that's what I've been primarily doing for so long. And neither of my accents are very good, so it's just great. It's like a clusterfuck of French, British, and crap. So, but anyway, that's my Monday show. Tuesdays, you guys know, are my Myth Dawn campaigns on Unmade Gaming's channel, and that's where we play the homebrewed campaign and the custom race that I created, which was the Consort, who are like basically a people of water and music. And then on Wednesday is McLoken's show. I just am lurking when he does that, and I do work stuff. And then on Thursday, me and Loke are on another show called 6 and 20 Metropolis, and that is on Nuts at Speedrun's channel. And all this is down in the panels below in the events, as well as if you do ! Myth, ! 6, and so on and so forth. You'll get the links to all the places. So that's shows, and then will be adding a second show to my channel on Friday nights at the end of March. I'll be making the announcement now that we have our final cast. It's going to be a Dark Heresy 40k game. So I'm actually really excited about that. And then other than that, that's it for shows. Obviously my Saturday shows I do, but that's not roleplay. The Patreon is up and running, and thank you guys for all this, the Patreons that are on there now. I appreciate it. So we're working our way up. And if any of you guys that are left here from Game Wisp, if you're still on Game Wisp, please cancel your Game Wisp. Because I've tried closing it a few times, and I don't know if it's not closing because there are subs or what, but love you. What else? I don't know. What else? I'm doing a lot of work. I'm working because you guys know I quit my job. So I've been doing that in the roleplay extension.
You quit your job?
Yeah, hilarious.
When? This is
When?
news to me.
Gasp. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare I? So anyway.
Where have you been going all day?
To this chair. A lot of chair and couch time. What else? I don't know. That's it, I think, for the channel stuff, the boring stuff for me. Okay. So, do we have, there was a question earlier that wasn't related, but I didn't see it. Hold on, let me go back.
McLoken, what is it like to be McLoken?
No. I have a non-Call of Cthulhu question. Have any of you accidentally brain farted and played out a different character in a game?
Brain farted and played out a different character in a game?
That was, you were like actively playing.
So I was playing one character and then like...
Accidentally? I accidentally different character.
Oh, I do this all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
Rocket,
McLoken,
fuck
tell
off.
the story first.
I actually don't have one where I accidentally started playing a different character. I sometimes switch out of accents.
Stop.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Yeah, but I mean that's just I've never, because I'm very good like at keeping my campaign, like what I'm doing in each campaign separately. Like I'm very good at remembering what the fuck happened. Yeah, but yeah, I've never had the case where I was like playing like Chaplain from Fractured Worlds and I was like, oh yeah, now I turn to Sarge. Oh, actually, well, I didn't like roleplay Sarge, but you know, like I switched into the Southern accent like fairly quick because I don't know, I have a natural Southern drawl.
Yeah, you do. Nice and natural. One might think you're from the South. Are you from the South? No, you're from Wisconsin.
No, I'm from Minnesota. Don't
Minnesota,
ever
sorry. Oh, I'm so
say
sorry.
that to
I'm
me.
so sorry. That is so rude. Bless your little heart.
Southern Minnesota.
Southern.
It was Southern Minnesota. That's the funny part.
Is there an actual difference of accents between Southern and Northern Minnesota, though?
The
Minnesota.
Duluth accent's a lot more thicker because
Yeah.
they're like way close to like Canada.
Okay.
Like where I was from, there wasn't too much of an accent because of the fact that it was very diverse where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
That's because of the hospital and all that kind of stuff. But heartburn. But yeah, that's my story. I've never confused a character. I don't think. But Avi,
Hi. Sometimes I play on two separate RP servers, and then I'm like two separate characters on both servers, and then I'm also playing, and you're in this campaign. I love Evelyn, and sometimes I would get on to do. I have like this is very recently. This has happened before, but I'll just explain recently. I had a character I was playing that was a princess, and she talks kind of like this. And she's very princessy. And one day I got on, and somebody was right there as soon as I woke up, and I started talking like Evelyn instead. Hi, what's going? Wait, hi.
That's great. That's amazing.
It's kind of like that thing.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, why are you in my room? Blah blah blah. And then I was like, wait a second, not
Wrong.
Evelyn.
Wrong. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that quite
Evelyn in the
often,
Dreamlands. Evelyn in the Dreamlands, thinking she's a princess, and she's like,
Oh, yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen. That's actually a really good segue. Evelyn.
Oh, is this a question for me?
I mean, So shit's happening, and shit got real last week with your character. So what are your thoughts around that right now? I know we briefly talked about it at the end of last week, but there's some like five sanity, right? That's all you got left.
I'm pretty sure she's gonna go insane. But I'm excited to like cause like for Adam, for his like going away character thing. Like,
Yeah.
he was dying.
Yeah.
The idea of him dying in his sleep wasn't uncalled for. You know, like there's just no way that he was gonna survive a freaking blasted to shit arm out in the wild for very much longer. So, but I feel like for Evelyn, like I feel like I want to play it until the crack, and then what happens at the crack. Like, and honestly, play like from the very beginning, I knew that Evelyn would more than likely go crazy and not die, because she's kind of a coward. Not a coward, but like she's very like, you know, she's very much like stay away from danger. So I didn't think that she'd actually get killed. But I was very like she's like science is the answer. That's what it's on my character sheet. Like that's like her religion is science. That's how she goes with everything. And in a Cthulhu world, like that's just not something that can be. We discussed like at OOC like the idea that she would know like kind of a little bit about Einstein's theory of like multiple dimensions, but like even that isn't like necessarily like she was a Marie Curie girl. Like she just really wanted to like figure out you know, how to save lives. That's all she ever wanted to do, was figure out how to save people's lives, like ever. And so this is definitely a character that was brought into a situation that she would normally have not gone into. But I really think that like the fact that they were trying to save Sarge is probably like the main reason that she really felt like she was gonna do it and save this guy. He's a little crazy, but she's gonna save him and make him better and all that kind of stuff. Because she was really convinced for a very long time that Sarge was mentally ill because somebody had done some kind of experimentation on him at the military base. And so like that was her way of figuring out like what had actually happened to him, and like she hated that. Like it was very hard for her to think that like, you know, that he had hurt himself. So like, so sorry, we'll go back to this.
No,
the
you're
subject
fine.
of everything is that I've been waiting for her to go crazy for a while. I'm actually surprised it's taken this long. I've just gotten some really good rolls when it comes to Sanity, and we've come up with some really good ways of skirting around it. Yeah, you know what I mean. But as soon as we were in the Dreamlands, I was like, we have to get out, otherwise everyone's she's gonna go crazy. I'm sad that it happened like literally, like it's gonna happen literally like 2 weeks after I bought my awesome writing gloves for my prop.
Well, I'm sure you will find a way to reuse it if you do in fact go insane.
I think like even maybe if she doesn't go insane, I don't know. She could not go insane, but I almost feel like it's like a perfect. Like if it happens, I'm not gonna be like super sad. Although I will be sad because I love Evelyn so much. Oh, she's my favorite.
How could this happen to me?
I made my mistakes. I know way out of run. Okay.
Okay, well,
actually, I was breaking into a Jersey accent just
a little bit.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
On the note of Sanity, there was kind of a question, and I'll get back to some other questions that were asked, but the note of Sanity, physically entering into the Dreamlands is pretty much like a death sentence, because all the work that, or like all of the damage that's done to you both physically and mentally is irreversible. Whereas if you are in a waking dream in the Dreamlands, the sanity damage is different. So like what happens in most campaigns that run Cthulhu that do Dreamlands, it's never physical entry into the Dreamlands, like ever. It's very, very rare that that's something that would happen. So I'm curious to hear people's opinions, even you guys, on what actually happened at the end of season 1 and what happened when you guys entered into the Dreamlands. But before I do that, one of the other questions that was asked was Mango asked if his nat 20, which would be a critical here and as a 1, would have made a difference in the last episode. And the answer is no, because the sanity loss was too, like, even with 1 save, it wouldn't have mattered. Only because she lost so much sanity at once. Even if she had succeeded on one of those against failure, there was a few things that Sarge did that forced sanity roll damage, regardless of the actual success or failure of the sanity. So some things that I've adjusted for in this campaign from season 1 to how I'm leaning now towards like the middle of season 2. Well, really the beginning of season 2. Season 1, I didn't enforce all the hard sanity rules, which is why you guys lasted as long as you did. And the reason for that is because the only other campaigns of Call of Cthulhu I've run on streams has been one shot, so it's easy to just go full force on the rules and like be done with it, because everybody expects to either die or go insane by the end of it. But with season 1, I was much more lenient with the rules.
Fair, there wasn't really a ton of crazy shit going on in season 1. We kind of skirted around most of the crazy stuff. We never went full-fledged into the caverns. We never, you know what I mean? Like there was.
Well, there was some occurrences.
Arguing.
Yes.
Hound of Tindalis, I ran into so many times.
You should have.
Eat up, man.
Yeah, well, the thing with the Hound here, let's talk about that for a minute before we go back to the other question. So sanity loss rules, as they should be played correctly, like fully enforced, is different things have different levels of success that you have to have for mitigated sanity loss. So usually if you succeed on a sanity loss, you like take half that sanity loss that you normally would. What I did instead was if you succeeded on a sanity roll, you just wouldn't take sanity damage. But in the normal rules, it would be no matter what, you take sanity. So technically everybody probably would have gone insane by the first or second episode of season 2. So maybe sooner, probably Sarge sooner. But the thing is I wanted the story to play itself out, and that's kind of why I use my own discretion with some of the rule set. But now I'm starting to gear up more slowly, so that's why when we started playing last week, I was saying, you have to have a hard success on this. You have to have extreme success on this to kind of start indicating that the degrees of success help change what happens versus complete mitigation, if that makes sense. So that's kind of the rules there. 7th edition is really nice in that way, but when it comes down to any roleplay system, it's always 100% if the GM wants to do something, they're going to do it. Granted, the system is in place to keep things balanced, so just keeping that in mind, of course. I feel like I missed another question.
I have a question.
What?
So, what happens if all the original characters die? Do we just keep going on with the story, or?
It's up to you guys. I mean, as players, if you want to continue. I have the rest of season 2 story arc and part of season 3 ready to go if that's something that we decide we want to do.
Well, I already know who I'm going to play after Evelyn, so.
Oh, that was going to be my question to you, is do you know, like, what kind of character you want to play?
I do know a little bit.
Do you not want to give it away yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's totally fine.
Because I really want to make it as opposite of Evelyn as possible, but I also know that the opposite of Evelyn in this case would be like somebody who believes in the occult and everything like that. That's too Nora. So like I feel like I kind of like there's other opposite directions you can go in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not just two sides.
Oh yeah, definitely. If Evelyn loses it, then it's up to Nora and Sarge to return her library book. Okay, so let's talk about this because
I love that this is a continual thing.
Okay, so the library book persona part of Evelyn aside, let's talk about the ending of season 1 and theories that have been so far kind of tossed around both between the players in our private chat as well as the viewer chat. What are anybody's theories here that like what actually happened? So the teaser trailer for season 2 is supposed to allude to something, but I kind of want to hear what you guys took from that or what you think is really happening, if anything.
Sarge made a parallel universe where Brighton got destroyed.
Okay. Avi? No idea.
Oh, I think that when they opened the portal to let the creature out, that they bit off more than they could chew, and that's what caused the crazy ghosty lady to come out, and that
Bless you.
that probably, based off trailer, like really freaked up the world. Like automatically you let a freaking exoskeleton insect chicken out into the world. It's gonna screw some stuff up. But then like we met the girl that was like the ghost or the witch girl in the woods that was like, you know, kind of all powerful. Like, you know, she shot her, she won the role, and it didn't phase her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's staring into this big portal thing. So I think what happened is that they opened up the portal for one thing, and then it opened up the portal for a ton of shit. And then this person, you know, was opening something up to get more things out or whatever, and we just fell into the portal that she was making.
Okay.
That's what I think happened. So we went in, they pulled a whole bunch of stuff out, and as we know by the trailer, like there's obviously the world is a broken place. But I will point this out, is it might just be in Brighton and hasn't spread completely yet, because if what's his name? What's Milton? If Milton's character is still going around on a fishing ship from port to port with people just being like, oh yeah, what's going on, you know, and you know, then obviously it's either not spread or it is a second dimension, like Sarge said, that it happened in, because for him it's fine.
Yeah.
So this could be a plane type thing, you know, like this could very easily be an Einstein theory of multiple dimensions sort of thing. Evelyn
Einstein was right all along. He wasn't crazy. Well, he was, but he was right. Yeah. So okay, cool. If there's any theories in chat, feel free to drop the information there. Also, assuming Milton is living in the same time period. That has never been said. That has never been, other than the fact that we've said that he's from the 1930s. We don't like. I don't think.
I don't know if it's the same time.
Yeah.
The 1931.
Sarge asked him what year he's from.
What did he say?
Oh, did he say
1934.
34. Okay, there you go.
It doesn't have to be the same time. It could be 1934 in January or in October.
He was super low, Avi.
Oh, super low?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
A little bit better.
A little bit better.
Do you want me to unplug and replug? Hold on a second.
Hello.
That's better, I think.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes whenever I move this thing around, it's a blue snowball microphone. It's a little
Yeah.
glitchy.
I hear you. Antonio says that the video looks like someone's up the lost people, following up with the lost people in the files, which are you guys, the investigators, and that someone is going to reopen that, and that someone is going to reopen it. So, okay, my question is, do you guys know who that person was?
I feel like I shouldn't answer that because I feel like it's been said to me. So.
Well, everybody should know if they were paying attention. Like, viewers, you should know if you were paying attention to previous episodes. And
if you don't know, you have ADD and you need medication.
What? That's so messed up. Wow. No, seriously, though. Everybody should know. She says her name at the very beginning.
Oh, she does?
Yeah. Her name was, Gypsy's daughter, yep.
Like Rose Lee or something?
Gypsy Lee.
The Gypsy Lee is the name of her mom, but isn't her name
Eugenia.
like Rose Lee or something?
Eugenia Lee, yep.
Oh, Eugenia.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gypsy's daughter. Well, some people weren't here when I talked about it in last Consulting Cthulhu Chico. But, yeah, so she's the daughter of the Gypsy from Brighton during the 1930s. So the conclusion... Yes, the conclusion that you guys can draw is obviously that she experienced the beast coming forth from the portal, and then whatever events happened that followed that after you guys stepped through.
But I can't draw.
Well, then I'm sorry. You're just not gonna be able to figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, so
for someone who loves dad jokes, she did not appreciate that.
that one wasn't a good dad joke. That was like not even a dad joke. That was like I want to be a dad joke. I'm trying to look for this other question that I think I missed. Oh, what happens when sanity hits 0? I don't think we've actually talked about that before. We might have. So when... Could you not with the chair?
What are you talking about?
So when your sanity hits 0 in a Call of Cthulhu game, your character immediately becomes permanently insane and unplayable. They're essentially converted to an NPC. If their insanity pushes them to a place where they're in danger physically and they die because they're unable to, respond to said danger, then obviously they just die. In a modern or non-Dreamlands place, the character would be admitted to an insane asylum, which is where they would reside for indefinite amount of time.
There's no insane asylums in the Dreamlands.
No, there is not. At least not to your knowledge.
Yeah, Milton.
So that's what happens to somebody who drops to 0 sanity. So yeah, if it becomes the case, though, obviously Avi will play through this fantastic experience. And I'm looking forward to that if it so comes to it. So that's pretty much that front of things. They become the pot pan head. Worse, way worse than that, Antonio. Way worse.
I become Captain Hook when he goes in.
Captain Hook on extra hallucinogen.
Yeah.
Because
the ticking is the thing that gets him the answer. That's all I could think about the other day.
Yeah.
Him talking about the ticking.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. Like some stuff, some things that people have done when they lose that much sanity. For example, there's different variants of insanity. Like no one person goes crazy the same way, I suppose. So that's kind of take that how you will, I guess. Okay, cool. So what other exploration or theories do you guys have or that you want to touch base on? If anything. Character discussions, story plots.
I'm interested to see how and if the party figures out how to get out of the Dreamlands, or if it's going to end up being a thing where like somebody has to like pull us out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm interested to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Theory-wise, I'm not really sure. Like, I'm pretty sure that the Dreamlands is pretty much anywhere. So a portal could open up right now. We could be back at the exact same spot we were when we went through the portal before. Like, it doesn't necessarily... It's not like a correlation thing where it's like a map on top of a map. You come out here and you come out there and you can go out anywhere.
It actually is. Physically, yeah. The Dreamlands physically maps to actual locations on Earth. Now, with that being said, with enough power, somebody can open up a portal, but it would be temporary. It can't be permanent. Yeah. So, yes, in the theory of what you're saying is somebody pulling you guys through, they'd have to physically create a portal, and it would have to have some way of tying to you guys, or you'd have to find, or that person would have to find you and then bring you back through the portal within whatever allotted amount of time that the portal would remain stable. So technically, based on the Cthulhu, Lovecraftian lore rather, there's only 2 ways to get in and out of the Dreamlands. One is through, there's like very dangerous locations on both Earth and the Dreamlands, the corresponding locations that have actual permanent portals, or you go there through the waking world, through your dreams, through the steps, and that's like a whole nother journey to experience.
And as we know, that's like a thing that can happen unconsciously, because it's what happens to Milton.
Yep.
But then I'm sure that there's a way that it can happen consciously, because that's the only way that the dream state books could have been.
Yes, you can forcibly put yourself into the Dreamlands. There's actually like plutonian drug is an actual thing that you can take to move your, like, consciously join the Dreamlands, but it's but it's very dangerous. Plutonian, yeah. It's a very dangerous thing and causes sanity loss no matter what. So it's like one of those risks that you got to be willing to take if there is for some reason a conscious need to go to the Dreamlands and you don't want to risk your physical form. But there's still a sacrifice, you know what I mean?
That what Chumley asked is one of my most interesting things about the Dreamlands is like because some of those people could actually be asleep. And some of those people could have gone through a portal like us, and some of those people could have been born here.
Yeah, let me go back.
It says, so are the inhabitants of the Dreamlands, like the fishing village, simply residual self-image projections.
Okay. For fear of ruining potential story coming up, I'm not going to actually fully answer that question. I will say that I have designed not just one village. So there's the village you guys have gone to, which is the village of Arnith, and then the one that you guys were traveling to, which is Lanith, spelled with an H at the front. And that is an actual documented city from one of the Dream Cycle books. And that is the second largest trading city that exists within the Dreamlands. So you have to think of the Dreamlands like a second Earth, essentially, from a perspective of like landmass and locations. Did anybody else hear that? That was weird. There was like a motorcycle or something. Anyway, with that said, there are places. So there are places, again, documented through the Dream Cycle, that are almost exact human behaviors and existences that you would find on Earth, but there aren't a lot of them. So like when you go to a village that's out in the middle of nowhere, for example, that doesn't have a correlating human village on Earth, there's less humanity. And so like if one city, like if Arnith isn't on a location where the mirror image of it is on Earth that has human inhabitants, then they're less likely to be fully resembling of humans. Now, the other thing with that is because anybody can technically, if they have enough willpower to do it, can manifest things in the Dreamlands, whether temporary or permanent. That's when you get to a point where, like, if there's a group of people who are using either spells or chanting or rituals or whatever to physically, permanently change the Dreamlands, that can be done. And so there's this idea out there that you could potentially have cities that were created from dreams and people that have been born there because they've permanently, what's the word I'm looking for? Permanently accepted being only in the Dreamlands, and their physical body actually dies and they just live in the Dreamlands. And then at that point, the theory becomes, well, if they can do that and become permanent parts of the Dreamlands, then can't they have children if that's what they're like, right? Like, so that there's like that future possibility.
I'm convinced that the little girl that we have, like, I don't know, you don't have to even like say that this is right or not meta, but I'm convinced that she is a version of somebody who's been born into the Dreamlands, which is why she's so incredibly powerful that she can just think about being on the boat, and she's on the boat. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like we think, oh, you know, a water carriage with horses and it drives evolution. But like she can literally, you know, like she could think of like a city and it would happen into existence. I feel like she is a variant, which is one of the reasons that when we went to, is it Arlington? No.
Arnith.
When we went to Arnith, they specifically brought her up in the notes that they were writing about the village and what's going on in the village and everything like that, because she's done a lot of things. Like her mother, I feel like her father hasn't been around because her mother probably got pregnant in the real world and then gave birth to her in this world. So that's the reason she doesn't know where her father is. And that they're watching her because she created a child that can literally shape the Dreamlands. And I feel like that's, like, they probably think it's like a magic voodoo thing. Like, I'm not sure if they understand exactly what's going on, but they definitely know that the child is special. And it's kind of it's one of those like Salem witch things. Like, she doesn't have a father, and she's like able to do all these crazy things. Like, she must be a demon child.
Demon child.
Like, yeah. And so like, I feel like that's a very important Like, that's the reason she was able to get on the ship without doing anything. Like, she was just sitting in class and she's gone. Because she's thinking about being on the ship.
I think she can either. So another cool like story concept for her is that like she is a child who was lost at birth, but as she died, put herself into the dreamlands, and then
That's cool.
her consciousness grew up in the dreamlands.
That's a cool idea.
So, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I don't know. Like, as far as anything, are we able? And this is out of character, to think of opening a portal up, because Sarge has summoned a carriage with his mind, and he has summoned a bacon, and he summoned a cat octopus. Is he able to open a portal?
Did you really summon a cat octopus, though?
I did, though.
None of us saw it. It could have just
saw
been
it.
an octopus.
No, I saw it.
Did you see a cat face?
Yeah.
To answer your question, there's actual physically built-in mechanics about portals, and I can guarantee you that between the 3 remaining people currently in the party, with one of them being near insane, you will never be able to open up a portal to the real world. So I'll just leave it. I'm just letting you know. The amount of magic points in mechanical terms you would have to have is nearly impossible. And I will point you back to why there are so many cultists in Brighton trying to do what they were doing. So just think about that from a mechanics perspective.
There's so many cultists in there.
Because it takes that much magic and power to actually be able to do it. And you better believe that most of them are insane now because of it. So, I'll talk about that in a second. Let me catch up on a couple. I want to explore that real quick, but I missed another question.
Hi, Zippy.
Also, hi guys. Hi for everybody that's just jumped in, and thank you for the host as well. Can people be from different time periods to be in the dream world at the same time? That's actually never been explored in any of the mythos. So, yeah, technically. Oh. My glasses.
Oh, my glasses.
So the answer is yes, potentially. Let's see. There was another question I saw briefly. McLoken, what's it like to be McLoken?
Pretty awesome.
I missed so many questions. There might be a facility of sanity in the land if other people became aware of 2 different worlds. You're interested in people who have control of both worlds and have established civilizations in the Dreamlands.
I hear that through your microphone.
That is the actual thing that has been... There's a story. I'll link it to you guys real quick. There's a story about a man who actually created the city of Celloface. And it's a really, really good read. So if you ever get a chance to, I might even read it on stream at some point. But
are you allowed to?
Yeah, all of H.P. Lovecraft is open to the public. What's it called? What's the correct legal term for it? Public domain.
Yeah.
So Kuranis is the man from Earth that created Celloface, and the plot was basically that Kuranis would dream so often that he willed this city to existence, and that, again, that's something that he spent so much time doing, and eventually his body withered away in the real world, and he permanently lives in Celloface. That one, the one that is referring to this is I believe just called Dream Cycle, and then there's another mention of him and that city in the Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. And so if you go to look up Celloface, it'll pretty much give you all the details on that. It's actually a really cool read. The Dream Cycle stuff is really, really interesting because it explores a lot of different things that you can do in the Dreamlands. It's where I got a lot of my inspiration, among other things, reading other books. That rare book that I got, that tiny little paperback book that's super, super old, has a lot of really cool stuff that's It's the Disciples of Cthulhu, and it's not, none of it's written by Lovecraft. It's all alternative authors, and it's got some really interesting concepts around kind of what types of entities there are and how they impact or how they interact with humanity. So I really like, there's a lot of different books I could probably go on and on about recommending, but Chico, you asked a question about the Hound of Tenderlos. I missed it. If you can remember your question, could you repost it for me? Because scrolling through is going to take a long time. If you don't mind. What's the other? There was another one.
Why is McLoken so handsome? Well, let me tell you. It's genetics.
I got it from my mama. I got it from my mama.
Oh, Antonio asked, can you bring something out of the something that you've created or found in the Dreamlands into the real world? The answer is absolutely 100% yes. And it's a very dangerous thing to do. And there is an actual mechanic in the system to allow you to do that. But it's very hard to acquire set items to allow you to do so.
Like, we could bring another turkey exoskeleton bird out with us if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to Avi's point earlier on her theory of, like, when you open a portal or go to an existing portal to the Dreamlands, the physical body has to enter to bring something out. So, at some point, you know, just because that creature manifested, it didn't manifest out of thin air, as Avi pointed out. There had to be some kind of magical occurrence that would create the availability for something like that to happen. So... yes, the answer for that.
So, like, if our party were to get out and we still have those emeralds that we found, like, in the campsite, like, that could come out into the real world and be a thing. And if it happened that those had, like, some kind of magical power, it could be a really ridiculous thing. But if they end up just coming into the real world and being emeralds, you might just be rich. Does it really, like...
Yeah, so because you guys are physically in the Dreamlands, you don't need any extra stuff to bring it back through from the Dreamlands into the real world, because your physical entity has transitioned. If you're in the Dreamlands through a waking dream...
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Milton is sleeping.
Yeah. Which is why he can't, you know... let me just put it out there. The reason why his ship disappeared, can anybody guess?
It's because he's taking it with him when he wakes up. It's not actually here.
Yeah. So that is...
is
or is it?
I'm actually shocked as to why the clothing we were wearing didn't just like Nora said when she freaked out, like, that didn't just go away. Like, she wasn't just sitting at her birthday suit.
Yeah, it was based on your degrees of failure. But overall, you guys physically thinking that you have clothing on should be enough to keep it.
Tentacle in the room.
Yeah. That does make sense. Like, even if the actual clothing we put on disappeared, because we willfully think it's still there, it's still there.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, that's why the little things you guys can do, right? Like, the bacon thing you were just lucky on because you rolled well. This freaking cat, oh my god, what? What?
It's so
Say
cute.
hello. Hello.
So cute.
He's being a bud.
Oh, he's being
He's
so
so cute.
Meow.
Oh.
Meow.
Oh.
That's what you get for coming up here.
Oh.
Yeah, so the ability to contain something through thought, enough thought can manifest certain things at the loss of sanity. Obviously, clothing is not strange to have, so I didn't make you guys roll sanity for something like that. But again, different occurrences and things. Can you not with my toes? Thank you. So yeah. Let me look at what Mango wrote. The big Twitch showcase thingy where they mention the community donations, also talk about different stream content. One of which is their grandmother on Twitch who reads children's books. Oh, you're talking about reading books. Okay. Chico said because I got sidetracked about the hounds. Yeah, the hounds. What was I going to say about the hounds now? I don't remember.
You were talking about sanity for a little bit.
Yeah, so technically, I think, given my leniency for the sanity rules in season 1, if I had to estimate actual loss of sanity from your failures of sanity rolls, Loke, you would probably be insane by now. So, or
I mean,
or dead.
I think I did.
I will be honest with you guys. I took it very easy on Loke with the hounds, mostly because I didn't want to just instantaneously kill his character, because that would have sucked and that wouldn't have been fun for anybody really.
Mango, no, the hounds aren't from the Dreamlands.
No, the hounds go way farther back than before the existence
they
of anything.
exist within reality. Like, so they can go onto any plane and do anything.
Yeah,
They're
they
not just a Dreamlands thing.
like imagine two pieces of paper slapped together. They're the space between the pieces of paper.
Yeah.
They literally can. Yeah, the space between.
They walk between reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a little bit about the hounds.
Pounds of $10.
Yeah.
As soon as like we started the campaign and you had them like right away, I was just like, oh yeah. Oh,
I feel my character fucked up the story so many ways.
Well, we spent a good portion of the first season just focused on what the downfall of your character as opposed to the actual plot that was going on, which is probably one of the reasons that Brighton was attacked by an exoskeleton chicken.
Yeah. Because Sarge existed. That's
And I'm still interested to see if we ever, and if we don't, like, maybe we could have Meta just explain to us exactly like what happened with all of that.
With all,
because I know that they did like the cultists need like for the ritual they wanted somebody from another time, but it would be really interesting to figure out like how they picked him and like that kind of thing.
So I will actually tell you this because there's no way you guys would really find out unless you found a way to question a cultist, which they probably dead by now anyway. Sarge was an accident.
Yeah.
He was not actually supposed to be pulled through time.
My mom and dad were married.
Shut up! I knew you were gonna go there. Sarge being pulled backward through time was actually not intentional. And if you recall, the other person that got devoured by a hound, nobody ever really asked about him. Because, well, he died, but...
Well, how could we figure anything out? It got devoured. We had his hand. And we don't have modern science. So
yeah,
we
no.
can be like, well, let's put this in fucking Aethys and then see if we can find his fingerprints.
Well,
somewhere.
I was guessing
that doesn't exist.
I was guessing that like he was somewhat connected to the killings. I forgot exactly what evidence of that I had, but for a while I did because like I think he came out about the same time that that something else had happened similar in Brighton. So that like to me, it seemed like these cultists were trying over and over and over again at certain time periods to do this ritual. So I thought he was a part of the ritual, but if he was actually just another accident that happened in prep for the ritual, that would make sense. That like at a certain point in time, as they were making this ritual, they started actually popping people out of time on accident.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this particular person, if you would have had time and or means of investigating him. He was actually somebody who had recently joined the cultists and got in over his head and tried to get out, but it was too late because he had been one of the people that was, quote, sacrificed to do the summoning so that they wouldn't be targeted. So he was like a pawn, essentially, as part of the ritual practice. Obviously, at this point, he was so scared to death, there was nothing you guys would have been able to do to save him anyway.
Well... What about the Winters guy? The guy who was the very first one, the one that came from the future or the past rather than the future. Out of time. You know what I'm talking about? The one that they tried really hard to save from the hounds in the farm.
Yeah, but he was coming from the past into the future, right?
Yeah.
So with him, so you're talking about Price Redding's mention of him from
Winters,
right? Yeah, of Winters. Yeah, so Winters was supposed to be the way that you guys were like intended to figure out how to deal with the hounds, theoretically. And we kind of touched on that a few times, but you guys never really pursued that scientific path as much because everybody else wanted to go and deal with Price Redding, the bad guy, and not actually try to focus on solution. So, He was a story hook for a potential way to save Sarge from the hounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me because I feel like there's not really any way to ever do that, because even if you put a ball, even if you put Sarge into a hamster ball, right?
Yep.
And that has no angles in it at all. If Sarge has a piece of clothing on and it happens to wrinkle at an angle, a Hound of Tyndallis can come out.
Yes.
Like, that's the whole point of the Hounds of Tyndallis, is there's no way you could ever be in a place without any angles.
Well,
so okay.
Let me add that there's not much said about the Hounds of Tyndallis, so there may be some sort of amulet or device that can help you prolong your life, but no one wants to agree with me.
So everything about the hounds, including the mechanical portion, so they finally added the Hounds of Tyndallis into the actual game system book. And in there, they dumbed them down significantly, which is why I didn't use that rule set. Because in that, there's a theoretical, what you said, amulet to protect. No, there is not. That's just no. So let me tell you a secret about my GMing. The intended story hook of saving Sarge would have been that Sarge dies anyway, okay? To the hounds. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah, be angry. But here's the reason why I say this is from a story and like narrative perspective. There's only two ways that Sarge can die. A, to the hounds, or B, sacrificing himself for the greater good kind of deal. But now Sarge doesn't follow that path anymore. So I don't know what kind of death he will have.
What do you mean I don't follow that path anymore?
You told everybody to go fuck themselves when Simon died, so you are no longer down.
I'm sorry, I had a break in sanity at that moment, and my sanity break.
I think that that's because Sarge doesn't care about everyone. I think that it's because whenever he went through such a traumatic experience, he wanted to just block everybody out. But I think that if Evelyn or Nora were to die, he probably would feel some kind of hurt. It just wouldn't necessarily be as strong because he's kind of like, oh, like he's kind of has this like idea of like, oh, it's gonna come anyway, everybody's gonna die.
In all fairness, Simon was a dick to everyone, so.
But that was the point.
Yeah. So when he died, a lot of people are probably just like, oh, well.
I don't know.
Evelyn was very hurt.
Yeah, he was still part of your group.
She paid him to come and help us out with something, and then it turned out to like literally have a fucking bug come out of his body, a demon bug come out of his body. Like,
so the thing about that is
that opposite of what I've always wanted to accomplish with life.
I chose at that moment when Sarge had his sanity break to be extremely apathetic, like sociopathic even.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I chose for him at that moment. To kill all emotions so he can get the mission done at hand. So because we went on break and Meta walked up to me and she was like, you're not really going insane. And I was like, I kind of am. It's not like very outward insanity. It's more like a very cold insanity, if that makes sense to anyone. So killing his emotions so he doesn't lose track of anything. But in that, with that, meaning that like everyone else who wasn't like following along his suit, he was ready to fucking kill. But Nora ran off, so he couldn't kill her. So
would you actually have tried to kill Nora?
If she was being a conscientious objector, probably. I mean, like that was the thing. That was like it's like someone he became very tyrannical, right? It's very much like Warhammer, right? Like, if you're like fuck the Emperor, you're gonna die. It's something that like Sarge was like breaking into,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I kind of decided for him at that moment, instead of getting super emotional, because he already got super emotional with the goddamn fucking running into the forest and causing all this anyway. So. And crying.
Why?
A crying moment.
Oh yeah, you did. Do you guys actually? So I've heard it multiple times in character that the reason why Simon died was because you guys left him alone. What are your actual thoughts? Is that still the standing you have as players?
I don't know, honestly. Because but I guess I've never really thought about it too much in full because the whole idea of a bug jumping out of Simon's body is completely insane and against science. So Evelyn kind of pushed it away, and I pushed it away, and like, you know what I mean? Like, to Evelyn, there was like a parasite thing that came out of his body that we don't know what it is, but really at the end of the day it's much worse than that. It's just that's how she sees it to keep her sanity. Like, that's how she sees it, to say, oh, science, like, oh, if I ever remember anything. So she's very like blocking it out of her mind, you know what I'm saying? There's lots of things that have happened where she's seen them, and by now that the exoskeleton chicken thing probably is a lot smaller now, and it's just some weird form of creature that like can be scientifically like brought back to something like being mutated chicken or something, you know what I mean? Like, so a lot of stuff like that I just kind of put away, and I don't think about it too much anymore because I feel like if I did, then that it would drizzle too much into my character. My character right now is very much trying to just make an excuse for everything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Loke?
What do I think happened? I mean, I'm the one who came up with that he got left alone for an hour unconscious, so that's why he died.
I just thought of something.
What? Oh, I mean, literally.
Yeah, that was it.
Literally, that was my idea when I
We're
came
the
up, like,
Dreamlands, and Simon thought about it. It could be just something that Simon thought into his mind. Like he's just laying there and he's like in pain, and like he has like the last drop of alcohol. He's like, what's gonna happen next? So they just gonna burst out of my chest, and it does.
That would have been actually really funny. But no, that is not in fact what happened. He was dead the moment that you guys walked through the portal.
Why?
Because of remember the organic, somewhat symbiotic life form that Evelyn had investigated? The weird glowy stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing, like, when I put my hand through the portal?
No. Like,
glowy stuff.
when you went inside of the Dreamlands and you guys were up in that tree?
Yeah.
The weird, synchronously moving, kind of glowy stuff in the air, in the atmosphere? Yeah. That was what it was.
Oh, so it like got into him.
Yeah, because he had open wounds.
That's what happens, guys. The things that look like pixies,
they're not pixies.
No. They're horrible.
That's how that happened.
Horrible things.
Danger zone.
In fact, I'm looking at your stream right now, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should like sink into the middle of my thing.
Wait.
There's like
Was that always
symbiotic
the
things
case?
floating around my head.
As soon as he walked in there?
Basically, I mean, like
you had that in mind when we went through that portal.
I knew I was going to kill Simon before the end of season 1. When he blew everybody up towards the end of that episode, and he blew himself up, that was pretty much a done deal. That was the nail on the coffin, kind of, so to speak. Because I knew you guys were going into the Dreamlands next, and there was no medical attention he could have gotten at that point that would have saved his arm.
Medical attention.
No, like, we're talking surgery and amputation. Like, there's no...
He had, like, an arm that was, like, barely being held on by some flesh.
Yeah.
Just, like, flopping around. Like, wasn't even there.
I have a big knife, and I had some alcohol.
Well, okay, so if we're talking medically speaking, Simon, because of the water you guys went into, and the fact that he had an open wound and it wasn't properly sanitized often enough, medically speaking, he had an infection that would have gone through his bloodstream at that point, because you guys weren't talking about amputating his arm. You were just trying to treat the problem as a Band-Aid. So.
Well, I kept rolling good on first aid, and you never told me I had to amputate.
Well, you're not a surgeon.
I think I would know when an amputation was going to happen.
Really?
that arm looks black and decayed. I think it needs to go.
Well then, aren't you just
He
so
could have.
smart?
Well, we could have done that, but he might. At that point, he might have also just died from shock.
That's true too.
Because we would have had to cut it off and then solder the wound, and then he would have
He was high
had
on
no
morphine.
arm at all. Like, no arm at all. You can
Yeah,
still
but-
die of shock with morphine, can't you?
I mean,
You can die from a lot of different complications by amputating an arm on the field.
Yeah. That's probably been a lot
Or
of
amputating really anything.
they do it in Walking Dead all the time.
Yeah, because that's really realistic.
It is.
Totally.
I mean, both shows have zombies, right?
That's true. It's true. Both shows have zombies.
Damn it. Damn it, guys. Anyway. That's
But are they edible?
Ew. I would not recommend eating them. Personally. Reminded you of Alien. Good, because I was kind of going for that feel. I discussed... so I did discuss his death with him before the show. I gave him the option of dying different ways, and that was the one that we settled on. Like, dying and letting the thing destroy him, or dying from other causes and then that thing coming out of him anyway. So... Yay!
Yay! Parasite! So it was a parasite, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, so I took influence from Ego, which, if you guys actually encountered one of those, you'd all be fucked. But it was
the baby one.
Yeah, basically, like I kind of what I thought of was like if these things had like a parasitic style. Technically they are like parasites anyway, but they're intelligent. The Ego. And so the creepy thing about these guys, the actual real like mythos version of them, is that they actually take the brains of human beings and transplant them and bring them with them in like jars and stuff, and then they bring them they integrate with them and then take over human bodies. It's like really creepy.
So they're like mind flayers that like mind flayers mixed with what's that alien that does the same thing? It's in Super Troopers, isn't it?
Maybe.
The one that comes up through the... No, it's not Super Troopers.
I don't remember.
Oh, what's that? It's like a 90s sci-fi thriller thing where it's like a parasite that goes into your body and then the tail comes up back through the spine and goes through the head. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? They take over people's bodies.
Starship Troopers. No?
Well, Starship Troopers has the brain sucker, which has the tube thing that goes in, which is actually a really Cthulhu-based creation. And I love it for that reason. And my little sister used to be so afraid of it that sometimes when I was little, I'd put my hand on the back of her head and go...
That's so creepy.
Tell me your secrets.
Yeah, that's really creepy.
I was a mean older sibling. I also used to chase her around the house poking my eye because she thought it was gross.
Yeah, that is gross, though. So, you know.
You know, like in Ace Ventura when he does it, he's like, "Ooh," I do that.
I'm trying to find the entry for the Migo. Migo. It's fungi from Yugoth. So they are basically a parasite.
Yugoth.
Yeah. So they're actually scientists. They're classified as scientists among these like creatures. So in this particular entry,
Oh, those dickheads. Oh.
Wait, did you send it to us?
Migo.
No, I'm cheating.
He's looking it up. I'm trying to find it. Hire and compel human agents. Where is the actual thing about the brains? Oh yeah, they place living human brains in life-sustaining metal tubes. And then they can attach speaking, listening, and seeing devices to the tube so that the brains can interact with those around them. Such contained brains can be carried around and taken into the vacuum of cold space, allowing their favorite human servants the opportunity to visit distant stars and other Migo outposts. Hey, you're my brain slave, is basically what that is.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, that's exciting.
I killed one, so I should be able to kill them easily now, right? I know their weaknesses. Shotguns.
I mean, they can fly, so there's that problem.
Well, I mean, so can Sarge.
But
If he
never-
thinks really hard, he believes in fairies.
yeah,
You
okay.
never said Sarge couldn't fly.
Uh-huh.
Think of
Don't
something
forget you're a
happy.
human. You physically wouldn't know what it felt like for a human being to fly, so you wouldn't be able to actually manifest it.
I do believe in fairies. I do.
Rocket, what are you doing?
Disrupting the stream.
Don't do that. He's trying to be cute with me.
So, if Evelyn goes crazy, would you take her library books back for her?
Sarge?
I mean, yeah.
If you can make it back?
Yeah, that's if we can make it back. I don't think we're going to, but I've been surprised with worse things. Because like the next person that dies is probably Sarge, because Nora has a really high sanity level, so she might be able to make it all the way through. And then
Why do you think you're gonna die?
because I have fucking like what 22 sanity left. So-
You don't die when you go insane.
But then Sarge can't be played anymore. They put him in a crazy room, and then the $110.
If there's a crazy room.
Yeah, they lock him up in a cell, and then there's there's a corner in that cell. $110 shows up, eats him.
I mean, I haven't made the hounds show up yet.
Yeah, because
They're looking. They're probably like, what the fuck happened? Because you just poof went into a different dimension. Like, they're still hounds. I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing about the fact that we haven't seen the hounds yet. That like
I'm thinking the thing that made the noise at the end of the last episode is the hound, and it found me, and now I have to get away on my fucking Simon mobile.
Is that what you called it? I thought you called it the...
Is there a mirror that says everything you see in this mirror is smaller than everything?
I thought you called it the
I just
Sarge
wanna see
mobile.
us chasing through the water on this.
Oh, I called it the what?
I thought you called it the Sarge mobile.
It is the Sarge mobile, but I can also call it the Simon mobile.
Why?
Why not?
I don't know. You tell me.
Don't judge me. I feel like there's a lot of judgment going on right now.
So judgy. So judgy.
Judgy.
Philosophical. Yeah, okay, thanks, Zippy. Yeah, okay. What other questions either chat or you guys have? Current story? Mythos?
Well, I mean, you guys asked that before. I'll gladly answer it again. It's something naturally that comes when you're me.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
And you know who has to live with me? Meta.
Yep.
And she gets to see this awesomeness every day.
Help.
Yay!
Wow. I figured you'd be excited and be like, yay.
I like the fact that you guys see each other every day.
Me too. I do. I was being snarky before. Yeah. That's true. Well, technically she didn't, because she still paid Simon interimly.
Oh, she lost all that money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think Sarge has that money now.
It was like day to day.
Sarge is the only one who searched Simon, so...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Wow, Sarge took
I gave him
Evelyn's
his daily
money.
Payment.
Well,
I gave him
it was...
Evelyn's payment when he died. That's why I put the money on his chest.
Oh.
I felt guilty. I didn't feel guilty. Evelyn felt guilty.
Evelyn felt guilty. Two different things. Yeah.
But the way I saw it is it was just like a non-role played. I gave him money every day. We saw him every day. So kind of thing.
Yeah.
I role played giving it to him when he died. Am I quiet again? I'm quiet again.
I didn't notice a change.
Astral said I was quiet.
They did, Odin. They looted his body.
Sarge looted his body,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep. That's how he has the green, like, emerald stones.
Mm-hmm.
The emerald green stones that you guys discovered is used for trading purposes as their currency.
Yep.
Hooray!
We discovered that when we were in Arnith at
Yeah.
the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Avi still has that medicinal bag of herbs or something, whatever it is.
Yep.
It smells like medicine.
I have a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever I go insane, my bag's going to be really interesting to carry around. Not only does it have writing gloves, it also has like 3 overdue books.
Well, you have one stolen. Wait, is it 1 or 2 stolen books?
I'd have to open it all up. I don't have the grimoire with me. The grimoire is in.
Yeah, you guys hid the
garden.
grimoire.
Yeah, I hid it in the garden outside the park where the lady and her and the kids that I went bird watching with.
Yes,
in their garden.
which Eugenia Lee had in her cinematic video. She has.
She had the grimoire. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on the
video.
Yeah, it's like part of the very first couple seconds.
Oh, okay.
But,
Well, it's a book. I don't know if it's actually that particular grimoire.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
And then I have a code, a book of Jeffers codes,
Mm-hmm.
which right now I think is completely insane, and it could still be insane, but it also could be a thing that needs to be code broken. We can talk. And then I have the journal, the special journal, which I've been writing in about the Dreamlands, which I think is, meta in my head that's super cool. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it
writing
is.
about the Dreamlands in this book and about like all these different things, but also it's just like another way that Evelyn could write everything down.
Yeah.
Her notes.
Yeah.
I didn't bring anything else with me.
That's fair.
I have the Somerset notes. There's another book that I have that's different, and then I think the only one that I technically actually have that's overdue is the one from the library that the Secret Christmas thinks belongs to them, so it's not technically overdue.
But that's
she still
the
thinks it's
Somerset
overdue.
Journal.
Oh, well, there's Somerset notes, and then there's the Somerset Journal.
Oh.
So I have notes that we got separately at the insane asylum out in the country.
Yeah.
And then I also have notes, I believe, from somewhere else as well. I have lots of notes, and I'm pretty much the book holder. Like, as soon as we have notes or books, I have them. So I ask them.
Yeah. Oh, the bird book? She could return that.
Bird book I returned.
Secretly, and you ran away. You didn't even talk to the librarian.
Yeah.
Because it was overdue.
It was overdue.
Rocket, that is the keyboard. Stop.
Yep. I believe I went back. It was before I met up with them again. Because it was when I went bird watching. Like, when we did the, second part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I went to talk to the people or whatever, and then I went back and they weren't there anymore. And then I, went and did my own thing. I went to my house, and I dropped something off at the book thing, and then I was like, oh, maybe they'll be here. And then I went there, and that's where they were at.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Just rewatch all of it. Rocket just sat in my
everything.
lap.
All of them.
All the things.
You just
Rewatch
came
all
in
the
here.
things.
And he's sitting in my lap, and he's being so cute.
It is kind of cool, the idea, because I've never really, I've never streamed doing a campaign except for the one shot that we
Mhm.
did. It is kind of cool whenever you do a campaign and you stream it, and you can actually go back and watch, things so you don't forget.
Yeah, that's true.
That's nice.
Yeah, you can rewatch them on. It's better to watch them on YouTube because I cut out all of the starting, the ending, and then the be right backs. So you don't have to wait for the extra minutes or try to find the way to scroll through. So it starts where the summary text starts and then stops right at the end. And then, I have my credit screen and all that shit, but other than that, yeah. So that's YouTube. But they're on the website. Literally everything is on the website. All you need to know is go to the website, and that's it. The website has links to everything. All the things. Oh, Rocket is being very clingy.
Because I shut the door.
Yeah, but he's been like this all day. He's like gone crazy, attacked Skitten multiple times. Then Skitten was losing her fucking mind today. And then I found her.
In a suitcase
I found her in an upright suitcase. She jumped into it because it was partially unzipped. And I went to go, actually, funny enough, find something in that suitcase. And when I reached in, there was a cat. There was a cat inside, and I was like, I did not put this in the suitcase. Yeah. The deconstruction. Oh my god, he's so cute.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, John's, no worries. There's a lot. There's also physical text summaries if you need to just read. And those are all written on the website as well. Although I still recommend watching the VODs because there's a lot of character development in there that I don't put in the summary from the pure perspective. It would literally be pages upon pages upon pages.
I don't think there's anything about overdue library books in the summary.
There's not. No. You would miss all of like the little things that kind of make up all the character interactions. All I do is highlight the plot pieces, you know what I mean?
Miss out on conversations in the car.
You know what's great though? Let me tell you a little bit about how McLoken helps sometimes. When I'm like really busy and I'll be like, "Hey, can you write up the pre-edited summary?" And the entire thing will always have some kind of mention about Sarge doing something very well. And I'm like, "No, you're not putting that in here." So I have to edit it out. He did it right in front of me the other week too, because I didn't want to type anymore. So I handed it over to him, and he's like, "Sarge expertly opens the blah blah." And I'm just like, "Come on, seriously."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta give me something. Sarge doesn't do anything.
Sarge doesn't do anything? You know, he never shoots out bug-bursting chests or kills cats and then gets afraid of them. And
So like I don't mention the phobias in the summaries unless something significantly tied to the plot happens because of it. So like from last week's episode, I haven't finished writing that. Can you not bite me? I haven't finished writing the summary for that because I knew that we were going to have Adam, and then when Devin said that she was going to make it, I was like, I'll just work on it on my own time and finish some other stuff. So when I write the summary for last week's episode, though, for sure we'll have mention of the phobias because of the fact that sanity loss was one of the major parts of the entire plot for last week's episode. So
I have lots of phobias.
Yeah, you have the
Tell you
most,
about my
I think.
phobias.
Sure.
Wait, McLoken has 3 too, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Don't you have 3?
3 what?
Phobias.
No, I have cats.
You technically have the hounds. We just didn't write it into your sheet.
I mean, they just make me feel scared.
Phobia.
What is did I gain a new one?
I thought you did. He did, didn't he?
Well, Nora got 13 and did she get darkness or did I get darkness?
You got darkness.
I got darkness.
Yeah.
But you're high on morphine.
I'm afraid of the darkness.
Oh,
Clocks.
dreams.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cats and dreams.
Cats and dreams.
Yeah.
Sarge
Sarge
is
is
gonna
That's
cats
my
and
dreams.
entire
He
life.
can't
Cats
sleep.
and dreams.
Sarge is gonna refuse to sleep, and then he's just gonna get exhausted, and then he's just gonna like lose his mind.
Stop biting me, asshole. Jesus.
Dreams.
Did you write your phobias into your sheet? At
I
least.
don't know.
Oh my god.
Maybe I don't have my sheet up.
Okay.
So.
It's fine.
Yeah, my sheet and stuff.
It's okay. So you have clocks, darkness, and
Darkness.
what was the other one? Oh, amputees.
Amputees.
Yep. That was the one you got on character creation.
It's amazing.
Yep. There's some good stuff there.
I've actually run into that one quite a bit. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
You're welcome. I do what I can.
Does it have missing limbs? Of course it does.
It's Cthulhu. It's like the worst possible phobia you could get at character creation for a Cthulhu game. Because there's usually some kind of arm.
I mean, well, phobias are based a lot around things that like could, or, like are actually like a part of your everyday life kind of things.
Yeah.
They're not normally, unless you have other mental instabilities, they're not normally just randomly popping up.
Yeah.
Which is why it's kind of perfect that like I have 5 sanity left and I'm just happen to be scared of clocks and the darkness. Like it's just random shit.
Yeah.
But because I was a scientist and I worked with bodies and I was trying to figure out like a cure for I was trying to figure out what radiation was and lots of stuff around radiation, like studying that I would be in some kind of scientific labs at some point in my life in which I did see amputated cadavers and stuff like that. That would freak the fuck out of you. Like it made a perfect sense when we rolled it. Like I was just like, yeah, sure. You're like I don't know, like no,
yeah.
I think the first thing I rolled was I didn't roll blood. Ethan does blood.
Yeah, Ethan had blood. I was like, man, there'd be so many cool plot hooks I could have with Ethan in there, but I never got a chance to play any of them out. Yeah, I never well, like even with him like not being there, like turning him into an NPC, there were so many things I could have done. I didn't have any like good opportunities to bring him in. So sad face on that front, but yeah. What other questions? Do we have any more questions from chat? We'll probably wrap up the show soon, so because
yes, I'm tired.
I know you've been yawning, but
I can't help it. I wake up at 5:45.
A fear of science. She would like collapse in on herself if Evelyn.
Oh my god!
Like,
that could be. If I go to 0,
that would be.
That's the sanity thing.
Yeah, that would be instantly. That would be instantly gone, done. But so at this point, because you have 5 sanity loss, or sanity left, any loss of sanity of 5 or greater, obviously instantaneously permanent insanity, and then the phobia you don't even need to add. We'll add it from a narrative perspective, but still. Wait, you have 4?
No, 5.
5. I thought you were indicating 4 for some reason.
No, I was saying like
that's
like
yeah.
5, like guys. I don't know. I'm not like the greatest when it comes to percentiles, but like that's like a 50 even more than 50% chance of losing all of my sanity with one. Hey, Avi, roll a sanity, like because it's a D10, right?
Oh, well, so you roll for sanity loss. And again, because I'm more strict on enforcing the sanity rules now in season 2, basically at any point in time, if you have to roll sanity, you're gonna fail the sanity roll, most likely. Like 95% chance of failing it because you've only got 5 sanity left. And then at that point, it's a 1d10 roll, and
yeah, and that's 50%.
The percent. Yeah, but it doesn't like literally anything more than 4, you instantly lose, like you're permanently insane.
Yep.
So literally, if you roll the 60% chance of, I
have to roll like a 1, a 2, or a 3.
Yeah. Well, a 4 at the most. So yeah, you have a 60% chance to go insane.
Yeah.
The next roll you make for sanity.
That's gonna be great. Now we have a Hounded Denali maybe after.
Yeah. Plus, you're also temporarily insane now.
I'm convinced it's T-Rex, but
T-Rex.
Yeah, that's why I was making the joke about the things in the mirror may be larger than they appear.
She won't have.
It sounded like a T-Rex.
Yeah. That growling noise. Yeah. Odin, no. If she goes insane, she won't have like any control of her function to be a human being.
Well, she's unconscious right now, so maybe we can save her.
Right. So you need to get her medical treatment. That's what
Take me back to that village. I'm sure that there they would be very understanding of
more than
person
happy
who's
to help.
Completely like insane.
Because, like, Evelyn at this point, if she doesn't gain sanity back, she's going to maintain her current temporary insanity for X amount of days. So, Evelyn will not be coherent for some time. Let's just put it that way.
So we might
Although
have to stay at
I
that
do
village.
like the idea that, like, Odin, I do love the idea that later on, like, you know, like if a year or so from now we're playing in a different campaign and they walk into an oddity shop and there's just this crazy Evelyn NPC like, let me tell you about the dreamland.
We don't have any birds.
And the birds that they do have are exoskeletons. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff.
And gloves. They sell lots of gloves.
Yeah, that's all you actually sell is broken clock chain, like pocket watch chains and driving gloves. That's all you actually sell.
Clocks and gloves is the name of the shop.
Except for you call it wait.
Clocks.
You call it clucks and gloves. Clucks and gloves. That's gonna be a thing with Evelyn if she manages to not go completely insane.
I love playing crazy characters. I think every single time I've been a GM for I was a GM for a vampire LARP for like 2 years, and every time I made an NPC like for just shits and giggles, it would be a Malkavian just because I like playing insane. So I as much as I love Evelyn, I also love the idea of playing her as an insane character. But only a certain amount of insanity can you actually play. So.
Yeah. Well, right now you're pretty much at that point.
Yeah.
So enjoy it. Have fun with it.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, Dreamlands and all that stuff. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Depends on what Sarge imagines is after him. I'm just kidding.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No more imagining.
No more.
My imagination's secured.
Yeah, you imagine things. It makes everybody around you go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did. That's what happened.
I broke the crew.
I mean, yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade, Zippy.
I remember playing
I'm
those
really
games.
old. So I've been role-playing most of my life. Like 75% of my life. And I ran a vampire LARP with 120 people. They weren't always playing, but like 120 person vampire LARP for 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anything? Okay, I'm gonna let one more opportunity for questions, and if not, we're gonna go and hosty. Somebody's playing Call of Cthulhu right now.
Like Vampire the Masquerade?
They're playing Pulp
Yeah,
Cthulhu.
that's what I was talking to Zippy in chat. Yep. I've been wanting to run and you could even, like, Adam has even, like, threatened to run it recently because I've been threatening to run it for years and haven't done it. I wanted to run a one-shot vampire campaign.
I want to be Kane.
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
Mm-mm.
Give me a good
No.
reason.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Because in my
zero
games,
gen.
you guys all play 13th gen vampires.
Damn.
You. I put all my points in generations every time.
Yeah.
So I can be at least 8th gen
Nope.
and be like, oh, cool.
Keep it simple, stupid. I'm a mean GM, just so you know.
Why we all gotta be fucking weak ass bitches?
Because it's much more fun that way.
No, it's not.
It's lame. I had a 7th gen Ravnos that I played.
Of course you played a Ravnos. Of course you played a Ravnos. That's like the perfect fucking clan for you. Was it before or after the Week of Madness?
She existed before the Week of Madness and survived through it with her sire, but then they had to separate themselves because they were going to try to kill each other. There's a whole backstory, like a long backstory written. And then...
Sorry, we're going to get into Vampire Talk.
Yep.
If there's two things... Like, I know a lot about Cthulhu, but I don't necessarily know a ton about the systems behind it because until this campaign, I've only played in like one shots because normally Call of Cthulhu games are one shots. You're all gonna just die and go crazy. But I know a lot about 3.5 D&D. I haven't really played a lot since then, and Vampire the Masquerade. Those are like my two that I know the most about. They aren't the two that I've played the only ones in, but like those are the ones I probably, if I could comfortably GM those games and know what I was doing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Coming back into Cthulhu after our one shot that we did on my stream, coming out of 6th edition into 7th edition, I basically had to relearn the whole thing over again, and I fucked up so many of the rules. I'm like, just gonna go with it. It's fine.
Well, I think that the most important thing about being a GM is just being able to improv. Yeah. Even if your players are like, well, that's not how it happened. You're like, well, I'm in charge of the story. It's like,
fuck you.
It's like, okay, I'll take that into consideration next time. But since I'm in charge of the story right now, this is how it is. You know what I mean? Like, not to be a dick, but you are in charge of the story.
Pretty much, yeah, definitely. All right, cool. We're gonna wrap it up here. I'm gonna go drop a host on Grimjack, who's running a Pulp Cthulhu campaign right now. He's actually really awesome. He's my GM for the Monday Cthulhu game that I'm in, where I'm the ghoul. So if you guys want to come and hang out with me on Monday afternoon, 3:30 Central.
My favorite Grimjack line from Metropolis is, "Building Inspector, I heard this building had tainted Malaysian cork," and I was like, "God damn it!"
It's good. Yes.
I love that.
It was
that
good.
line so much. Let me see your papers.
Hey, Cloud.
The gig is up.
The gig is up. But no, Grim is a really fantastic, not only GM, but role player in general. So go make sure you guys drop him a follow. But he's on a lot of other shows, including, he's on multiple things for Encounter Roleplay. But make sure you guys also follow LadyAvianna and McLoken, who are here with me this afternoon/evening. And we'll be back next week. Hopefully Adam's internet will be sorted out. It should be. Because he said he's supposed to have it back on Wednesday. So when that happens, we'll be doing episode 6. And if you guys, either of you want to mention anything else about yourselves or your stream or anything else, feel free.
I like all of you.
That's the best response ever.
Hi, my name's McLoken. I just want to say, come watch me on Wednesdays. Thank you.
Okay. Good stuff. Fantastic. Thank you guys for sticking around. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Encounter Roleplay, where I will be playing the most lovable and welcoming ghoul in the entire Cthulhu universe. And then I'll be back again on Tuesday on Made Gaming's channel, and so on and so forth. Go just check the schedule down below. It's really very easy. And also, like, I can do this. Like, I have commands. Look,
I put up a schedule recently.
That command used to work.
To here.
Is it really? Oh, that's awesome. That schedule thing used to work, but thank you for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys next week on Sunday for a full-length campaign episode, hopefully. And we love you guys. HP Lovecrasher is awesome. He looks like
he's in the dark.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. That is pretty cool. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'm going to go drop this host because I don't have a going away screen for this scene I've just remembered. So, yay! We'll talk to you later.
Bye.